That's a new shot.
Yeah, I'm experimenting with this layout.
Okay.
Actually, there's like one more move I gotta do, but I gotta like dismount the TV and like move it to another wall.
What do you got planned?
Just shift this over because the white desk is currently like right over here, and it's gonna go over here now.
So your desk.
Rotated.
Was your desk L-shaped, or did you have like
It's an L-shaped desk.
So your desk is still in the same spot?
Yeah, more or less the same spot in the room. Just like before the L was like tucked into the wall, and now like the L is like sort of facing the wall, so that it creates like a natural U shape. I've like boxed myself in a little bit. There's like one way in.
So you got another table on your left side.
Well, right. Yes. This I guess this being my left side, this is like the L part of the desk, and then this is over there is like empty space. So the table is going over here. I don't know. I'm experimenting with like trying to figure out how to like maximize the amount of like usable space in this room.
Yeah.
The TV's like mounted on the wall up there now. I guess my fingers.
Are you gonna move the TV to a different spot?
The TV's just gonna move to the wall over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What about the white desk?
The white desk is going in the corner, so I'm gonna make like a big U with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of the big U setup when you need to reach a bunch of shit.
Yeah. I have like the cable management done a little more nicely now. The interface and like the computer controlling it is like tucked away in the corner, so that like all the cables just run nicely along, and I don't have to trip on them and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I had a sudden motivation to do this, and you ever have one of those where it's just like, I'm gonna move shit today? Yeah.
Yep. Usually that'll take place in like a living room or Yeah, you just need to move shit around.
Yeah, it's like, no, this layout isn't working for me. Let's just like move a bunch of stuff around and like see how I react to it.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you just gotta be in like the physical space and be like, this was better in my head.
Man, I do that all the well, I mean, okay, I think all of us do it all the time, but that's the difference between it coming to actual movement. Like, even when I walked in here today, I was like, I wonder if I can move it. But, like, you know, it's just passing thought. Then you end up, like, moving the one thing a little bit, and you're like, all right, we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big market in that for... I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that for, like, interior design. Like, that's where VR is, like, really useful. Where you can just, like... It's a lot easier to place a couch in VR than it is in, like, fucking IRL, right? Where you gotta actually, like, move the couch.
How was your microphone alignment? Because you were off the mic a lot last week.
Mm-hmm. That was part of the other reason why I moved the desk. Mm-hmm. Is so that now I'm, like, facing directly at it.
All right. How far you got between the mic? All right. All right.
Yeah.
Hello, Pedro.
Hello.
How's Cambridge?
Not as warm today.
Well, get fucked. It's 28 degrees right now.
It was cloudy today, so instead of 29, 30, it was 24.
We've been getting like rain nonstop because of the smoke, so it's just been like super gross, and now all the mosquitoes are out.
Ew.
Yeah. And they're out in fucking force.
What did you post in general about, like, the headphone hack or whatever it was?
Oh, yeah. So apparently Sennheiser's difference between, like, the 5950 or the 5550 and the 59 or 555 to 595 is there's a piece of foam in the headphones that is present in the cheaper one that is not present in the actual one. So if you remove the foam, it just sounds the same. And, like, this is the cause of a markup for these Sennheiser phones.
Oh, so it's like it's a delete mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we have put this thing in here to make it crappy. If you just remove it, then it sounds exactly like the next model up.
I mean, like I'd have to look into that. Is it the same driver? Because that sounds like some internet shit too.
This guy has his
From the pictures, it looks very similar. Yeah.
he like has the teardown of both of them. Like the plastic is different and whatnot, but like.
Yeah, no, there's just a strip of foam in front of the driver.
This is to make it cheaper.
Yeah. This is binning.
Do you think they put them both together and went, wait a second, these sound exactly the same. We need those to sound slightly worse. Come on.
Well, that's why I'm curious about like the driver, if it's got like the same headphone driver, because that's a whole different story of like frequency response and all the other boring stuff that goes along with that. Because I see a lot of people, they're like, oh no, you just took a Shure SM57. It's the same thing as the SM7B. And I'm like, yeah, and that's not. Put those two mics in front of a kick drum. See which one works better. It's going to be the SM7B. Trust me. The SM57 is a vocal mic. Hey, thank you, Pedro. There's differences.
Yeah, the label is different.
Let's see if we can embiggen that. Oh, yeah, I'm breaking all the rules, by the way. If you're watching on a YouTube video, we're streaming in H.265 right now.
Oh!
HEVC, because I got bored and I decided to fix something in OBS for myself.
Yeah. So you had the similar equivalent to, let's just rearrange the office.
Yeah, it's like, I need you to do this thing. Oh, you're open source. You know what? I can figure this out. I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb. I can... So yeah, we got that working. And by that, I mean, I moved some shit around and exposed one thing and I click go and YouTube's like, yeah, it's like, right, fuck it. Oh, and we're also using UNV encode. I'm testing that tonight. Those were force pushed to a guy's, who's been trying to get it in. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody on the OBS core team is going to come back. So what do you think about the color blue on Thursdays?
Don't even bother trying to submit that.
It'll just sidetrack the conversation for another 6 months, 8 months, and like we'll get back around to it. You know, they'll just wear people down. Now, that's a good thing and that's a bad thing. I understand that.
Oh, they actually, so they in the blog post they talk about the driver. The actual sound difference is slight, but it is noticeable. Foam is only there to alter the project. Speculated, blah 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 blah. Apparently, the replacement driver for both is the same part. It is labeled as for both the 56.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what all right. I mean, we're talking like how much for Sennheiser headphones? I'm unfamiliar with like consumer-based.
The price delta is about $150.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, these were 90-something pounds, brand new.
Mm.
So, yeah. And these are the 599s. The HD 600s are like 300 secondhand.
Okay. So, Jordan, do you still have that microphone arm on your wish list?
I do?
You might want to update it.
Uh-oh.
You might want to update it because I went digging around on the company just because I was like, let me find these. This looks like a small enough company, but like, yo, send Jordan a review unit. I dug up their social media, like 2 of their social media accounts. I think their Twitter account and their Facebook account have been banned.
Oops. Okay, so...
For what? I don't know. But that's usually not a good sign.
Probably.
However, I have a good replacement. Same price, too. Actually, cheaper. You get one refurbished. I don't know if there's one in Canada, the Elgato.
Elgato.
With that cat. Same principle.
Yeah,
stretchy, low profile, and most importantly, this goes up and it goes down.
It goes up, it goes down.
Yeah.
What's it called?
That's on my wish list. You can just click on it.
Elgato.
Yeah, it's on the studio.
Yeah.
they got renewed one for $79.95. My cheap ass hasn't pulled the trigger on it because give me like 2 more weeks or 3 or tomorrow, whenever, when the mood hits.
Auto wave.
Thank you, Linux Nuru. This one is a nice arm.
Always a good sign. Yeah, maybe their microphone arm technology was too advanced. I don't know, man. Like, what do you do to, like, one, I'm like, oh, that's an oopsie, and the other one. And I think Facebook was like, they were up to just like, it had one of those messages that was like special. Like, they were up to some naughty shit or something.
It's
Like
probably
improper
attempting
practices.
to buy reviews. It's like, yeah, we'll give you money and you leave us a 5-star review.
Oh shit, man. Okay, I had a guy contact me yesterday through Facebook because we get all these. It's spam. I'm like, oh, there's chat messages. I clicked on it. I look at it. And the guy's like, hi, I'm a podcast marketing professional, and not only will I help increase your views, I'll make sure you get tons of like fake reviews to help.
So you'll get us banned. Gotcha.
Yeah. This guy's is like balls out straight with it, man. And
Like, but like, apparently people want AstroTurf, right? Like,
this is not where it stops.
ostensibly, yeah,
It's not where it stops. He sends an email to the show email address. So we went to the website, wrote that down, man, and he added me as a friend on Twitter. Bro.
friendly,
Proactive.
Sort of
Yeah, it was kind of strange, man. I'm like, no, that's not. Yeah, the Elgato microarms get pretty good reviews. So for what it is.
I found the one on the Amazon. See, it's $114. That's not bad.
Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
$80 US, 114 Canadian. Yeah, no,
Well, it's like 99 US. The 79 is like a refurb unit, but I mean, it's a microarm. It's kind of hard to fuck that up, you know? I was doing a bit of digging around and I was taking a look at the how much it would cost to build an alpaca PCB from their store. $161.
Ooh. It is coming from the Scandinavian peninsula or thereabouts.
The PCB that Pedro was going to be talking about is like 37. I'm like, oh, is that all they got? And I went to their shop and I'm like, oh no, they have the front and back. They make you buy the front and the back 3D printed plates separately because of reasons. I mean, I guess that's okay, fine. You got to get that. You got to get like the magnetic whatever and the whatever other parts. But yeah, I tallied it up. I wasn't sure. What do you think of the Tilt 5, Jordan? You played the games like this.
So like it's neat, right? Like I look through the list of games, and they got like they have one called Tabletopia, which is basically like a VR equivalent of like Tabletop Simulator. So like there's a decent amount of like actual games implemented that you get by virtue of it. Apparently there's like a standalone dedicated Catan, because of course there's. I don't know. It seems cool. The wand is a little strange. But like I guess you need something to like gesticulate and like use as a cursor in like space. So like I suppose that's like that's just how you have to do it, right? Like unless you have like some sort of like glove thing, like or elite motion type thing. So yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, I think the big thing would be like remote play, right? Like if you can have like, or like I guess like the obtuse example would be like the long distance game of chess where you have like the actual chessboard up and like, you know, Holmes in one room and fucking Moriarty in the other room are like having their chess game across country or whatever. Or like you could do that for like board games like Twilight Imperium, where like those games can take like up to like 12, 14 hours to finish. So like being able to be like, hey, we're gonna press the pause button on this and come back later and like not have to remember where all the pieces are, like, yeah, it seems really cool. I
have to assume, like, just out of the box, this thing's designed for people in one spot. You know, this is not designed for like remote anything, is it?
Yeah,
there's a play mat. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, and so like I to me like that's the sort of like future state of that technology, and where like I would like to see it be pursued, but like Yeah, I mean, like you buy it. Well, I guess the only problem is like instead of paying $150 for a board game, you're paying like $300 or how much is it? It's offhand, I don't recall.
$350 for the kid.
Yeah.
$350 for the kid. Okay, so instead of paying like $150 for like a boutique board game, so like to just use Twilight Imperium as an example, so you pay $300 as a one-time fee, and then you got to still pay for like the DLC packs for the board games. So there is a bit of buy-in, but like yeah, it seems cool. I would want to play with it. That's really it. I look at that, I'm like, that's neat. I wonder how it actually works. And when people are like, you can use it for D&D, I'm like, no, I would not spend like 50 hours in like a AR-scape trying to figure out where to place my fake trees. I use a whiteboard, so...
No, you're thinking about it wrong. What you can do, though, is spend those 50 hours designing your dungeon and that, and no one will ever play it.
No, we'll see. They'll say, hey, that farmer has a funny voice. We're just going to fuck with him for 4 hours, as opposed to actually go into the dungeon. And now you have taken over his farming operation, and all those hours of like dungeon crafting I've spent...
That's when I realized that farmer was really a battle mage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the farmer, he's the one who gave us the quest to figure out who killed his wife. Turns out he killed his wife.
Yeah, he just wanted to get you out of town. It was... He's got multiple personalities the entire time.
I looked at it and I peeked in. He's got empty down like a little bit. Say about like 8%.
Okay.
Just because empty's got that like high pitched.
Yep. Okay.
So it might not even show up like on the meters. It's like I'm sure your meters are reading fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably want to take it down about like 8% to balance that with you a little bit better. But I tuned in three different times, and both of you were like standing around going, "The fuck."
Yeah. I think the added difficulty mode is because only one person has the space portal and only one person has the time portal. Your ability to experiment is kind of limited by like what you can communicate to the other person. Because I can't just be like, stick a portal there, stick a portal here, and I'm going to use the time portal here. It's like, no, Empty needs to actually be active in this experimentation, and so
you both have to like work together.
Yeah. Because in the single player, you control all three portals. So yeah, and now we're at like a fucking timing accuracy one. So it's like, you got to press all the buttons in time. Oh boy. but the problem is I'm the only it's like there's like the two low buttons and the two high buttons, but only I have the space portal, so I have to like do my portals and his portals at the same time.
Is it like well designed though?
It is, yeah. Like all like they pretty clearly explain the time travel rules. It's just like grokking it, right? Like, yeah, like because like I can explain the rules to you, but like if you still put me in front of it, it's like, okay, well my brain hasn't adjusted to this mode of thinking.
You got to move that extra widget in.
Yeah, and having to think in like the extra like time frame, because like the whole thing is like stuff you do in the past affects the future, but stuff you do in the future doesn't affect the past. So you can do stuff in the future and like there's a lot of puzzles where you have like one box.
That's timeline discrimination. I would brings that issue up on the forums.
Yeah, so you get things where like you have one box and you have to place it in the past, and then go to the future and bring the future box back into the past because the puzzle requires two boxes.
So the duplication bug, I'd file that too.
Yeah, well, but if you pick up the past box, then you instantly delete the future box because that future no longer exists. So like, yeah, it's the same thing with portals, where like portals you set in the past show up in the future, but once you're in the future, you can mess around with the portals there, and essentially you have 4 portals by going into the past and the future, but the levels are different, and yeah. It fucking hurts my brain a lot.
It's a duplication, but that they made it into an actual mechanic.
Yeah. It's very like it's very smart, and like the writing is also like very Portal-esque. Like all the jokes and stuff are like they're
okay.
They're yeah.
So they went on. All right.
Yeah. Like it's like I think it's about like as long as like the original Portal in terms of like puzzle length, but like depending on how. Yeah, depending on how stupid you are, that could be like
instead
2
of
hours,
2
or
hours,
that could
like
be
4.
Yeah.
Oh man, maybe to help you out, there should be like a giant wall mural of Michael J. Fox's family slowly fading away the more you get wrong.
Yeah. Or just like every time you change something, like the picture changes. Like sometimes Marty McFly has like a lizard head. Sometimes it's like yeah,
empty just disappears.
Yeah.
Oops, damn it.
But speaking of, so yeah, you gotta do the multiplayer in Wine because it looks for a DLL that is not present under Linux.
Oh.
Because turns out you don't usually ship those with your Linux build.
Yeah.
No one tested that.
Yeah, so we did.
Is that how it ended up? You're like, all right, fine. Proton button, done.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like, okay, yeah. No one actually tested it, and like to their credit, like once we cut over to Proton, it worked fine. It did that source thing that I don't know why it happens on my computer, but it will just like randomly unbind all my inputs.
That was the first part I tuned into with you. Like, nothing working. And I tuned in and like you went into the controls and nothing was about. I'm like, there's your problem.
Yeah, I missed that the first time around. But what I don't get is like, what is the thing that triggers that? Because I didn't have a controller plugged in at the time. So
we get a fun bug in Trackmania 2020. We can play the Cup of the Night, Cup of the Day, all that stuff just fine in the after shows and on Fridays. But if we try to do a ranked match with the three of us, if you add or accept an invite, it breaks controller and input support under Linux.
Huh. So like, does like keyboard mouse still work? Or
no,
like...
everything's gone. Mouse works. You can mouse over things, but you can't click on anything.
Oh, like the window isn't in focus. Yeah.
So we have to get the Windows user to send us invites. Yeah, that didn't stop us, so we found a way around it. Fucking Ubisoft, man.
Even with and without Gamescope?
Yeah, I've done the entire like checklist of like, let's get a workable, and like it's just not having it. And Pedro, I found a version of Fall Guys you can play with us.
Oh, is that the Stumble Guy? We got Fall Guys, at home,
man.
Yeah. McDonald's at home.
Multiplayer.
That's from 2021. Wow. Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing back then.
I had no idea. It's nigh impossible to find like party games on Steam that are like free to play for people to ever. That's one of my new challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find the
Yeah. I'm a little fucking late to the party, but Slay the Spire is really fun, you guys. I think I got hooked. The combos.
Let's see. When did we play that for the chairs? And I said, yeah, it's really good.
I wasn't there that week.
I remember this. Yeah, 2019, man.
Yeah. I loaded it up on the Steam Deck because I'm just like, what can I play on my Steam Deck? You know what? I keep hearing Slay the Spire is good. I'm gonna try it out, and then I'm like,
it is
the combos, man. That fucking dopamine hit when you have like three of the same power set up, and it's like, yeah, every time you block, it does like 8 damage to the enemy, and you're just like, yes, attack me, and trigger my chain of bullshit. And then I die because like, oh yeah, the next attack is like 27 damage. Here's all attack cards. You have no defense. Goodbye.
Were you able to defeat the six-eyed whale?
I was not able to defeat the whale.
The whale is friendly.
Yeah, the whale is friendly. I've gotten into chapter 3 so far, but I keep getting killed because again I keep running into the same situation where it's like, oh yeah, here's an attack and all the cards that you have are completely useless in this situation.
Yeah, I don't have anything like current. I'm bored with Assassin's Creed Valhalla now. So however many hours I have in right now, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good. Need some Elks to play. There's nothing out right now, man. Like, I'm kind of interested in the Final Fantasy game, but I'm not buying a PS5 to play a demo. I mean, that's a bit out of scope.
Did the Stranger of Paradise one come out on PC? That might be up your alley. It did, but it is pretty expensive. Stranger of Paradise, a Final Fantasy story. It's like, it's in that same sort of like action Final Fantasy type vibe. So it's like a RPG.
Well, the reason I'm interested in the new one is they got Platinum Games have done the combat system for it. Like, oh, that's how you get me to play it.
Yeah,
actual combat. Yeah.
Well, it's like they've been trying to make Final Fantasy like a real time thing forever. In Final Fantasy VI, the monk character, his attacks, you have to like actually do fighting game combos to like make them work. So, like you have to like do the key presses for like a Hadouken or like a short.
Zell in Final Fantasy VIII too. The limit break was button mashing. Which is why he was the character that ended up dealing the most damage, because you could literally button mash the simplest combos in fractions of a fraction of a second. So the time limit didn't really play out at all. It was always stopped for the animation.
I mean, you know what? All I know about Final Fantasy is what I learned from watching The Spirits Within.
I mean, like, honestly, that teaches you about what playing any given Final Fantasy game will teach you about Final Fantasy as a whole, which is not very much.
They're all significantly different from one another,
Yeah.
yes. Except for 10 and 10-2. Those were both in the same
13,
timeline.
13.1 and 13.2 and 12.
Yeah, the worst
Tactics
one that they
Advance 2,
decided to...
and Vagrant Story.
It's like some motherfuckers trying to explain Zelda lore. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, okay, well, you got the 3 timelines, because there's the good timeline, there's the bad timeline,
We're
and there's the
absolutely
fucked up
talking about like
timeline.
Star Trek levels of like Kelvin
Yeah.
and shit. I'm like, get out of here with that, man.
And
Just
then
enjoy the
Link
show.
got onto the Enterprise, and him and Spock, they went around the sun at Warp 9, and they went back in time to like the 70s to fight George Lucas.
All
and
we
prevent
really
Star
want to
Wars
know
from
is
being
when are
made.
we getting the lower decks in Babylon 5 crossover?
Yeah. I don't know about that new
Animation?
B5, man.
It's kind of
Not
flat
even-
looking.
Not even the animation, just like I'm fine with that. The premise seems dumb as shit, even for Babylon 5.
No,
And,
I didn't get that far into it.
Oh yeah, because it's like, oh, it's Sheridan being sent across realities to like, oh, what they goes to the reality where like the Shadow War didn't get one or whatever. And I think what it's doing is it's trying to set up like it's trying to like end the old series and like, oh, but like it's a different timeline, so we can have people from old series kind of show up and have a rebooted Babylon 5. I don't know. One interesting thing I read this week is the original show plan for Babylon 5 from like pre-season 1, which is like where it's just like, oh yeah, what if it was like Sinclair through the entire way through because that guy didn't get Alzheimer's or whatever.
What was
That's
the omnipotent race? Go fuck yourself with the Vorlons.
Yeah, the Vorlons, the Shadows, and then there's like the other precursor races. Like the Vorlons and the Shadows are like the baby ones of those.
You have like vague memories. I watched a couple of I've probably only seen like maybe 10, 15 episodes of Babylon 5. I'd started following it for a minute, and they changed Get Off Our Lawn like when it aired, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Never tracked it back down. Remember those days?
Yeah, I mean that was real as fuck. It's like I don't know when the show is on anymore. They changed the time slot, and now I can't watch it. So
Consult the TV. Yeah, TV Guide, man.
TV Guide, yeah. There's a reason those magazines existed in every fucking country.
And then there's the did you get, I don't know if they have this in the States. They probably do. It's like the TV Guide channel. It's like the one channel that just has all the listings for all the other channels.
Well, I know they had that for DirecTV because we had the satellite thing even back when forever. I don't know about like the North American like cable and shit like that though.
We had one, and it was literally just like the bottom screen was like the schedule, and then the top screen was just like ads. Straight up commercials. And
it's like playing American Truck Simulator, isn't
it? Pretty much. Listen, hey, if you're
it's
spending
pretty
your
realistic.
Well, it's like reading through it, like on paper, I understand. Like, hey, yeah, you know, if you spend your free time driving trucks around, maybe you want to get paid to do it, and like let's hook some people up. But also like it opens up a very, very questionable door as to native advertising.
100%.
Yeah,
That door's already been broken by many other AAA and AA games in the past.
Yes, and it would be nice if one company didn't go down that route.
I'm just saying, everyone's treating that as like, oh no, it's just... or like if
well,
if
you know,
if you're going to,
I mean, Pedro,
games.
Mateus, they're trying to say that in the forums, but the threads are insta-locked by the 10-god fucking developer.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
Where he's like, you've insulted me. His words. I'm locking this thread.
And like at the end of the day, it's like, okay, cool. Ads in games are fine if I'm not paying for the game. Like if or if I'm getting like a substantial discount for viewing ads, right? Like,
but I mean, there's a couple of ways to go. When I first heard about it, like, oh, they just like a trucking company came out and said, hey, could we do that for recruiting? I'm like, if that was it,
like taken on its own, like what American Truck Simulator doing, like is fine. It's never just this, right? Like
that, and I didn't think anything more about it, and then it showed up my Google News feed, and then I looked into it, then I went to the blog post, and it was like, no, we've designed a system. I'm like, oh, you got plans for this?
Yeah. More aggressive monetization.
Doing a bunch of reading.
Like they want more money. Go figure. Yeah.
Well, there's already a realistic billboards mod for the game,
which introduced unpaid advertising. Yes, they don't make money out of that.
I'm not going to defend it.
Like,
I mean, because that's the user saying, "Hey, I want to put that in there."
Yeah, like it's an interesting thing to talk about, right? Like, games are expensive to make, and developers should have the right to make money off of their product, but like, also there are responsible and good ways to do it, and yeah. If the truck simulator people are like, well, we're not going to do it, we would never be evil. It's like,
that's how it always starts.
Everyone who has ever said that has never turned out evil, right? Right? Yeah.
Just look at Reddit.
Yeah. Oh my god, that fucking implosion, and like someone, I think the board needs to like actually duct tape Spez's mouth shut, because like he is just not. Every word that comes out of his mouth is just worse and worse and worse, with like dripping with such contempt for their user base.
Okay, see, at this point, I'm like, I'm almost like, I got an ear turn to the conspiracy theorists of like, they're trying to tank Reddit for whatever unknown reason. I'm like, doing a good job of it. So if you're unfamiliar with that, is the latest thing came out of like, we're just going to replace mods of closed subreddits for inactivity. Now, I like the cleverness. A lot of subreddits saw that, and let's be honest, there's some power trippy bots. They're like, this is all I got, man. It's coming back. We're back. Our picks. If we go over to our picks, everyone.
Yes.
Now, we're just going to scroll down. This has got like 30 million subscribers, and there's John Oliver. Yeah. There's more John Oliver.
On Twitter today, John Oliver is like, I have some poses for you people. Let me show you.
Because they held a poll, and the only thing available on our picks is now an official subreddit with 30 million subscribers, and the only thing it will show is pictures of John Oliver looking sexy.
Sexy John Oliver, yes.
That's it. And I'm like, that's how you battle back. Because that's
malicious compliance.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing of beauty. I like seeing that.
Yeah.
I mean, the argument's going to be getting rid of the mods over an activity. So if they bring the subreddit back for like an hour and then put it back into private mode again.
That's a lot more work than just putting sexy pictures of John Oliver.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, but like this is the thing though. If only Reddit had like a group of people who were like able to effectively curate the content on their website that they would pay to like, you know, maintain a certain standard. But I think that's kind of the issue here, isn't it?
Well, that's the whole thing. Like,
that was the thing.
A little bit.
The RPix is smart because that's going to get it on.
It's Streisand effect, yeah. Like,
well, John Oliver's going to talk about it on last week tonight. Oh, yeah. However that works. I don't. Maybe they'll unfuck it. You know, they made the concession. Well, they didn't make the concession. They just come out and said they're like, oh, we'll make sure we have no rate limiting for moderation tools, which is like, oh, so this is just about getting rid of third-party apps. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Clear. Which make up 30% of the user base, but out of that 30%, what percentage are the top posters?
And the moderators themselves who are using, Let set aside all the accessibility concerns,
because I mean, again, we're weird special snowflakes. We sit in front of a desktop computer.
Mm-hmm. Most people just do the phone thing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't look at Reddit on my computer. I would look at it via Relay, but I've taken the opportunity to like cleanse, have a bit of a Reddit cleanse, and I'm going through the withdrawals.
I know, it's great when you're Googling something now. You're Googling something and you see the Reddit link, you click on it. Oh, yeah, that's happening. Right?
Yep.
The answer was never on Reddit anyway, so fuck it, let's go somewhere else.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It was. Google was prioritizing Reddit results.
Times, like, there's a big... That cost a big memory hole, man.
Yeah, Google has been actively prioritizing Reddit results because that's a primary discussion forum on the internet where things tend to get uncovered. So yeah, a lot of these links, especially like, oh dude, especially for programming, there's like a lot of shit on like our programming help or our DevOps or our like whatever, that those links are dead now.
Yeah, that's where I came across the way to fix Steam.
Yeah, like
this week. Yeah, somebody left a comment last week on the YouTube, and they're like, I don't even know what Reddit is. And I'm like, I know more than you then.
Wow.
Like, that's not a good thing to brag about. It's like, you don't search very much for information, do you?
You're, well, I mean, like, I guess that's a good thing. It's like, you're not very online, are you? That's probably the best for your health.
Here you are on YouTube. I have questions.
I don't know, maybe it was just me that whenever I'm looking for something that doesn't work, I go on Reddit and I see people saying, oh yeah, I ran into that too. Did you have any thing? Who were you, Nevercoder69? Who were you and what did you see?
I'm not saying it's first click answers, man.
Yeah, but there is information buried there, and Google knows that. But now that information has been covered up.
We'll see.
I mean, man.
A lot of places lit back up. Our Linux is still down. Our audio engineering is still down. Those are the two.
There's a website that has all the blackout stats.
There's a Twitch stream that does it too. But those are the two. Audio engineering pisses me off that that's down.
Yeah, and all that talk about maybe getting back into forums. I've become more active in Ross Scott's Accursed Farm forums, just because he posted a couple of threads specifically about his Linux experiments, instead of just emailing people directly like he was doing for me.
That's because you're interested in somebody who hadn't figured out how to get wine to work in 6 fucking years, man. I'm not.
Oh no, wine's already a done deal. Now it's Gamescope. And to be fair, he's already uncovered a couple of interesting quirks with GameScope, and there's a couple of very clever people who have already submitted a couple of pull requests for GameScope to introduce those options.
What in the absolute shit is he doing? Because I probably have a lot more hours like capturing and streaming.
No, he wants basically for older games that don't have anti-aliasing, or they only have FXAA. He wants to do like full-scale anti-aliasing, like say render the game at 8K and put it in a 1080p window.
So
you can do that. You can do that with GameScope already, but it would do linear filtering, which means it would look exactly the same if you rendered it at 8K or if you rendered it at 1080p. Which it will still use more GPU, but effectively it would look the same. So it needs to be bilinear scaling or trilinear scaling, something like that. Is he
displaying this like in person on a 90-inch OLED, or is he thinking this is going to transfer to fucking YouTube video? Because I got bad news for him.
It's for him to play the games himself, and for what he's doing the video, from what he says, is so that when he shares that with the world, so that people can enjoy games without as many jaggies, by whatever means they can, GameScope would be ideal.
I wish him the best of luck, man.
Yeah, it's already improving GameScope. There's already a couple more PRs that actually do that. Say if you run it, you have a 1080p screen and you render the game at 4K, there's a noticeable image quality improvement, and there's a lot less aliasing on diagonals and whatnot. Progress.
I don't know. I don't get that. I guess for me, it's an old ass game. Like
Yes, it's an old game that you now have an option to play with better image quality because you have the software that can, and the hardware.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, I want to see what the game looked like back when, you know. Like
I think you're the minority on that.
So where do you stand on like graphical overhaul patches?
I'm
in favor.
I mean, I don't. I'm not trying. Like, this is like no way an argument. That's just like personal preference.
I'm just asking random.
Yeah. Like I don't do like graphic packs or HD. Like if it's an HD remake, if it's something like Black Mesa, yeah, I can appreciate that. But yeah, I guess it's like a friction thing for me. Like it's going like out of my way.
Yes, it is for people who are going out of their way to play older games. Yes.
I don't know if there's like a ROM hack or something that like drastically improves the quality, because like there's a lot of like rose-colored glasses shit in gaming where it's like, this was terrible, but I played it as a child, and so I've like massaged over it in my mind or whatever. If you can like do away with some of that stuff, or like make it look a little prettier, make it sound prettier, or fix some bugs. Like I'm all for that. I think that's like what was it, the big one, the big controversial one now is like KOTOR 2, because there's like the restored content mod that like basically makes the game you know playable, and Aspire was like basically treating it as like first party content, except on the Switch version, which they delayed.
I think that says something like finding like open source reimplementations. That's why I think we're all a huge fan of like engine reimplementations in open source to make those options easily available. Like ROM hacks, a completely different story.
The ability to play a game on a modern-ish operating system without having to spend 3 or 4 hours researching it.
Well, that and like, hey, taking advantage of new technology like STL so that gamepads work on PC when previously they didn't, because it didn't exist.
Support for higher resolutions and higher refresh rates. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to worry about the LGR guy like kicking down your door at night and beating you up.
Yeah, you're not running it on original hardware. It's not pure enough.
It's
like car restorations.
The last thing you're going to hear, Pedro, is
ooh, Duke Nukem.
now I'm just
Atomic, you
thinking
got
of, like,
fiber
hot
back?
phone.
Neat. Wait. Tech. Wait. We need... Oh, you kept the landline? Yeah, they ripped all the copper out of this place when I got the PDSL. Way back when. Phone just ring. Oh, I wouldn't know what to fucking do with a fucking phone on a wall ring. I'd jump.
Yeah. Oh, like, especially because, like, wait, I don't have a phone in the
Yeah,
house.
right?
What's
there would
making
be
that
multiple
noise?
fucking levels, but if I was over at somebody's house and, like, something in the wall just made a noise at this point in my life, I would, you know...
Oh, what gets me
doorbell?
is you remember the pulse dialers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those always like, what the fuck is that?
I remember rotary phones.
Yep.
My grandma had her rotary phone until the rotary bit actually fell off. It sheared the thing
Yeah.
off the pivot. where
I
it was.
remember as a child thinking like, oh, rotary phones are really cool. And then I tried using one. I'm like, this is fucking terrible. I'm glad we have buttons now.
Yeah, go ahead and dial a number with like 3 or 4 nines. And then wait.
Oh no, and then you realize you fucked up, and you're like, oh, fuck. Was that 3-4 or 4-3?
Let's see. Yeah, rotary phones, call waiting. I have a very adversarial relationship with dial-up because that was the thing that knocked me offline as a kid when somebody called.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. I had so many games of Diablo disrupted because someone wanted to talk to my mom. Like,
Speaking of Diablo, I snuck that into the show notes.
yeah, I saw that
They got
new Devolution.
all the multiplayer patches. It looks like it's like playable now.
Nice. I would be down with going through OG Diablo with you.
In all fairness, I've never played it.
It's very clicky. You do a lot of
Yeah.
clicking.
It is very much a one-hand game. You get a mouse, click, click, click. That's it.
It's also open source, so I can.
Well,
yeah.
What you got to do is like have just in the live stream have like someone in the corner just holding an eggplant and playing Diablo the entire time.
But even on a controller, you could set it to play one-handed because, yeah, it just needs movement.
Oh no! We
click.
get rid of we don't do a face cam, but we do like a camera down on our mouse. Dude, yeah, that's a retro ass game that I wouldn't mind playing. I don't know if I have you get Diablo and Hellfire for like $8.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's rounding error money.
If you still haven't deleted your Battle.net account, which you should, it's free if you register literally any game.
I still have my old burnt CD copy that my friend Trevor gave me. You didn't need a CD. You didn't need a CD key though, so that was the nice thing.
I want to live in this imaginary world where like optics and like mobile phones get good enough to where you can fucking OCR
Take a picture of the back of the CD
just
and then
click it and done.
Well, what you can have a JPEG that is like larger, or you can have like an image file like that's definitely larger than the contents of a CD. You could probably capture the entire fucking like.
Well, that's
data.
what I'm saying. I mean, the gigapixel imagery exists, right?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I that would be dope as fuck.
That would be really fucking cool. Yeah,
Right.
Just be like, what's on this CD? Snap.
Right?
Yeah, no,
That's
it's very
that's
easy
some
for
fucking tricorder shit, man.
Nori can just scan one of her A3 size drawings in that scanner there at full 2400 DPI, fully uncompressed PNG, about
I wonder if you
800
could do that
megabytes.
for. I wonder if you could do that for vinyl. Like, is it just good enough now that you could like take a picture of a record and like?
You'd get all the clicks and the pops.
I mean, you would, yeah, but like,
I mean,
that's what hipsters want, right?
right.
You'd probably need to get a few pictures because the grooves are cut at an angle. So, like the different tracks.
Well, this is why we need IR in the front facing of the camera so we can interpolate.
Yeah, run it through a ML algorithm, and yeah.
Yeah, just spin it around once, like done.
but when it does it,
no.
it has this blast. You spin.
Now I have a
around.
horrible idea. If we could zoom in and we make a motor driven record thing that you can put your phone on the top of, and it can read the one track while it's spinning, and it can play it through the speaker.
Yes.
What do they call those? Victrolas or
Victriolas. Victrola turntables and speakers. They still exist.
oh shit!
Works with Sonos. Nostalgic look, modern features.
This is
Get
what I look
Queen's
for in my
greatest hits.
wax cylinder. I need wax cylinder with Bluetooth.
Yeah, this is it's still. Or is it like yes, it is the corpse of the Edison Corporation being worn by some multinational.
Yeah, that's what I said about that $60 Atari game. I'm like, the company that owns the intellectual property of Atari is making a new game.
Yeah,
I
Atari
only accept Atari games on 2 DVDs and 1 floppy disk.
Yeah, they sold out the first time before they crashed the video games industry, and then they sold out after they crashed the video games industry, and then they sold out a third time to Infogrames, which I think are the people who own them now.
Is Infogrames still a thing, or are they like?
No, they're Atari now.
Right.
Okay, I guess now they're just Atari. Okay. Formerly Infogrames. Okay.
I can see a fiber optic stylus. There was a laser record player made. I know of the one. I don't know how well it worked though. Obviously.
Yeah, just
Melted the wax.
yeah, just how many times could you actually play that, and what speed?
Well,
Did
I
you
mean-
need to have a fan to cool it down?
The oh shit, it's still around. Look at this motherfucker. The original laser turntable, 1989 ELP.
That straight up looks like a laserdisc player. Like
Look at that.
that's actually a not bad looking piece of device.
Yeah, no damage from the needle, just warping from the heat. That's fine.
Well, I mean, lasers don't have to be hot, man. Like,
They don't have to be that hot, but it is still energy being beamed directly into a very, very absorbent surface.
it's vinyl. Vinyl's pretty fucking resistant.
Pew, pew, pew.
It won't massively warp it, but you'll get some flutter.
But I mean, that's part of the charm, Pedro. It's the laser fire.
Yes, the warmness of the sound.
Really smooths out the lower, upper, mid, highs, low end. I guess you can still buy one. How much do these go on?
eBay.
Yep, that's where we're going, kids.
eBay.
eBay. All right, prices. 10 grand.
I'm gonna say
It's not
5.
that expensive, yeah.
They were
probably
originally
like
999 pounds. I remember seeing them in the fucking magazine.
Yeah, $3,000.
3,000. Working.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3 grand. I got 10.
I got 5.
5.
That's
Oh,
it. VHS.
Okay, I'm like, hold up, wait, no, that's
Okay, we're gonna have to refine this.
ELP.
laser turntable, yeah.
All right.
They just have
apparently
the
it's
strobe platter
priceless.
to speed recorder.
How much? Oh, what's the sponsored result?
Wait, what?
4,400.
Wait,
How much is the ELP Japan laser turntable?
4,400.
So I guess I win.
I mean, if it's closest without going over, I won.
Oh, yeah.
Site doesn't load. Okay. Can we get like a sold?
Possibly.
Bunch of
Yeah, the
Turntables?
bits.
That's a sex toy. That's a pancake maker.
Hi-Fi Shark. Used laser. All right, maybe I'm just 8,500 euros.
That is closer to 10,000, yes.
€1. Hold on. Yeah, €1. Please just get rid of it. It's
eBay
haunted.
in
And
Germany.
it screams like my dead wife.
Deny. Ah, wait.
Oh, you denied the cookies? Okay, that means you didn't want to
Fine.
go back to the page that you were on then.
Accept all. Let's see. AB 4,500.
I recognize the word defect.
Lexman. So I guess this is the spot. So whatever BG in is Belgian. Bazar BG. The Fincho?
Belgium?
So 8,500, 6,300, and we're just gonna go with 85. That's the only one with a picture. Italian.
Vendo. Usato.
8,500 euros.
All right, so I'm closest without going.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do I win? You win a laser turntable.
Used from Italy.
No, I want the busted German one for $1.
This motherfucker in Portugal has pissed me off so bad, Pedro.
Okay,
was
why?
The last audio interface, audio Firebait, was the 8 Pre. Like, they're rare, but nobody even knows they exist, I think. And this motherfucker sniped me a couple of years ago because it was on Reverb. And again, my problem with buying shit immediately that I should buy, it's like, we're just going to wait a couple of days, then we'll buy it. He got it. He was the one who bought it. I didn't know that until he decided he wants to sell it now. Like, this thing's
Is it
not
the exact same one?
there's no other one. Like, I didn't even know it existed, and like, it's not in the Fado database. And I'm like, shit, yeah, I can get a hold of Tim. We can work something out and like maybe get this thing like hooked
So
up.
what's the price delta?
He wants to get rid of it, but basically for what it was selling for, I think he wants like $200 for it. I mean, it's not crazy expensive, but he wants whatever the international shipping plus like it was like 140. Yeah, I'm like, dick. That video's not getting made. All right. We have that. Let's close that. Let's close that. Hello, John Oliver. I was looking at you a minute ago.
Sexy jungle.
400. Yeah. Like, I don't know what I do with the, so if you see a record laser player, get it. Sell it.
Yeah, there's clearly a lot of money in that.
Well, I mean, the main page, the Japanese page, had like a contact us form, or maybe they still make them.
Custom order.
Yeah.
I don't know. You think like laser record player would be like the kind of gimmicky crap you could just like buy out a sharper image or something, right? Like,
I don't know. For all we know, Pedro's like only like halfway right. Maybe it destroys the laser. Maybe it's like a fucking teleporter. I mean, the laser destroys the record. You only get one play.
That's the thing. It's still energy being shot at vinyl plastic. It's going to soak up the heat.
so what you're saying is we need to pump the laser record player full of liquid nitrogen so that it maintains an even temperature.
If it's like an exposed...
I think we might be safe, lads. Vinyl records have a melting point of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So
But
that's
if
a
you
beefy
leave it in a
fucking
hot
laser.
car for too long, it'll start to warp and lose
Okay.
its shape.
So if we use the laser record player in a hot car,
My point was not, not full on melting, but warping, yes.
What if we use the razor record player where it just like drags a razor across the grooves?
I like that somebody has asked that enough times where Google's like, here, fuck, jeez. Like, where do you people keep your records?
Can you record scratch so hard that the record actually catches fire?
Oh, can we start a fire with a record?
Slap a chicken enough times to
Survival
cook
tips.
it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, what are those outdoor survival things? And we're like, oh, we got to build a fire and like pull out a fucking record player out of your backpack.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you just pull out like a turkey deep fryer and you dunk a frozen turkey in there. Like, we're going to start a fire in this campsite. I guess technically, yes, you are going to do that.
Yes.
That's not a false statement. You will start a fire.
No, man, that like super thin piece of
How quickly the CD spins, effectively cooling itself, versus how not that quickly vinyl spins.
If you're a coward.
Pedro is going to die on this. That laser will melt the vinyl hill.
I'm just saying,
He's already
as
set
a
up shop.
medium,
You underestimate the power of this fully armed and operational record player. Your faith in your vinyl is your weakness. Your faith in your compact discs is yours. Well, that's the nerdiest crap that's going to come out of my mouth today, so good night.
Mini discs were magnetic, right?
I thought they were CDs. They're just like small CDs.
yeah.
Optical, or well, they didn't skip, so
I thought that was just because they had like...
it's magneto optical. Yeah.
Okay.
It's both.
It's all right.
Oh, what is the official? Optical disk drive capable of writing and rewriting data upon a magneto-optical disk. Yeah, I know that, but tell me exactly what a fucking
So what are they, like little tiny hard drive discs?
light intensity modulated direct overwrite.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, right.
I know those words.
Well, I knew floptical drive.
Floptical drives. That's my new favorite storage medium is floptical. Shit.
Flopticals I knew of.
Yeah, I guess they're just like the floppy disks.
3 times longer than reading. Okay.
Magneto optical disc.
So,
We're learning things today on Linux Gamecast.
yeah, we should have been live like 2 minutes ago, though.
Yeah. This is what happens.
We're
This is
busy.
what happens when you have a podcast literally fueled by ADHD.
We found the curio. Let's talk about the curio instead.
The best I can suss out from that is it writes with a laser, reads with a magnet.
Sure.
That's why it doesn't skip. All right. Yeah, let's go live and say hey to everyone, then take a break.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, we've got through this very intense debate about checked notes, laser record players. We'll be back.
All right. All right, bye. H.265 YouTube.